try the warm-up now. Okay, so from here, we have 18 seventh graders. Graders estimated they spent more than an hour on social media. So we go ahead and do 18 here. 18 seventh graders more. 39 seventh graders were surveyed. So in total, 39 seventh graders. 38 eighth graders were surveyed. So down here we're gonna have 38. And then 33 total students estimated they spent more than an hour. So we're going to put 33 right here on social media. Okay, so our job is to fill in the rest of the blank. Remember when we were talking about two-way tables, all my rows are going to add up. And all my columns are going to add up. So we're just going to use that idea and work backwards. Okay, so for example, I can do 39 minus 18. 9 minus 1 is going to be, 9 minus 8 is going to be 1, and 3 minus 2, 1 is going to be 2. So we're going to have 21 seventh graders who used less than an hour. We can do, let's pull up a calculator. We can do 33 minus 18. So we're going to have 15 eighth graders who use more than an hour of social media. We can do 39 plus 38. So it's going to be 77 total students were surveyed. We can do 77 minus 33. So we'll have 44 total students said they spent less time on social media, less than an hour on social media. And then the last one, 44 minus 21, right? I'm looking at this column here. I could have also done 38 minus 15, and this is going to end up being 23. Okay, that's the warm-up. We're going to be talking about scatter plots today. All right, so there are 4 different images I want you to think of when we're talking about scatter plots. Basically, we're taking our data along 2 columns and graphing the points, okay? So when we have a graph that looks something like this, where if I plot all the points, and it generally looks like a positive slope line, that is going to be a positive linear correlation. All right, if we have something that looks like this, where my lines look like my dots, generally, it doesn't have to be perfect, but in general, if I can draw a line that in general fits the trend of going in a negative direction, that's going to be a negative correlation, right? No correlation would look something like this, where it's just kind of all over the place. It doesn't look like a pattern at all. And we might also see something like an exponential correlation, where it's not quite linear, or but it's also no correlation. So my graph would look something like this. Okay, so we have positive, negative, no correlation, and nonlinear correlation. Those are our 4 types, right? So let's jump into our examples now. Example 1. Use the data table below to create the given scatter plot, then fill in the guided sentence below. All right, so we're just going to graph these points, okay? Each of these points, go ahead and graph them. So we have the point 6, 1. So on my x-axis, I'm going to the right 6 and up 1. So there's the point. I'm going to erase that. We did this one, so now we need to do 1, 0. Then we're going to do 8, 1, 0, 2, 7, 2, 3, 3, 5, 4, and 4, 1. Okay, so now we just need to fill in the sentence, right? The scatter plot shows a positive or negative. To me, looking at this, we're looking at a general positive, very slight correlation, because as the plotted values of x increases, the value of y generally increases, right? So we have a positive and increases. So as what this part is saying, because as the plotted values of x, so as we're going this way, my plots are generally increasing, right? So you can see how like I'm in general going up as we go from left to right. That's all this is asking for, okay? Example 2, we have 2 questions here. Describe the association in the scatter plots, right? The scatter plot shows we have 2 different wavelengths. They're going to go to both of these, right? So the scatter plot shows it's either going to be positive linear with an outlier, negative linear with one outlier, nonlinear, or no correlation, okay? So to me, you can see that there's pretty strong correlation. This is going to be a positive, and because it looks like our line is going in the positive direction. So we'd say positive linear association, because as the plotted values of x increase, so as we go increase along the x-axis, my y values are increasing, right? So we talk about increasing. Okay, so for example 2, the scatter plot shows, to me, this is going to be a no association, because there is no pattern, shows no pattern. Okay, and that's the end of today's notes. If you have any questions, I'll be back in class tomorrow, and we can go over this before we end up looking at lesson 7. I'll see you tomorrow.